Part 1. The Trick. This life, this existence, is not what it seems in every regard. Almost nothing works like they say it works. There is something here manipulating reality. This is done by tricking humanity. We don't know what it is, but for our purposes here, we will call it generally the creature. This creature, whatever it is almost certainly not, quote, of men, and it's some sort of alien or technological intelligence. Now, Christians will call it Satan, of course. Its goal is incredibly simple: to pull you and to pull collectively humanity off our true intended path. It coaxes you to walk its lost road instead of your own through a series of tricks which manipulate. If you choose to walk its path instead of your own, or the true path of you as a human being, the creature is rewarded in some way. The creature, through a society that it has warped and crafted, works tirelessly to bait its hook and dangle its carrot in front of all of us. It has crafted a very detailed reality script that it has successfully imposed on most or almost all of the population. It has incorporated an army of minions as middlemen and character actors to influence humanity to walk in its preferred direction, which obviously is away from a human being's pure path. A few of the carrots it dangles in front of all of us are materialism, ego, status, and of course, sex acts. These carrots are all distractions that are, quote, out there, outside of ourselves. They appear on a stage outside of ourselves. It's the best way to think about it. When a, quote, citizen is successful in grabbing a carrot that the system offers, it's normally tied in some way to one of the 7 deadly sins. This general correlation to Satan is beyond obvious, but I don't think it's that simple. I believe it masquerades as Satan for its own manipulative purposes. I believe it perhaps wrote the book of Revelation itself, and it is attempting to get us to manifest the horrors of it. Revelation is real prophecy only in as much as we follow along with it and act out its script. Its minions, the minions of the creature, whatever that is, are politicians, corporate CEOs, and almost everyone, basically, that appears on television. Now, 99% of these people aren't, quote, in on it. The news anchors are simply useful idiots who, in doing the bidding of the creature itself, think they're helping people by presenting what they believe is accurate information. Now, there are exceptions to this. There are those that we believe are in on it. Anderson Cooper comes to mind. People with a much greater knowledge of what is actually going on and the nature of the trick. Much of the news today is crafted or entirely fake. In this life matrix, think of yourself as Dorothy, who is supposed to use the true path on the yellow brick road to reach a spiritual destination. Think of the creature as having hijacked everything else in Oz. Everything but Dorothy, who is you. Even the kindly transgendered Tin Man could be an agent of this matrix because he appeared off the yellow brick road. To impede your progress, the creature lines the entire yellow brick road with more than poppy fields and gay scarecrows. Every 5 feet along the yellow brick road, it presents a new temptation and another distraction for Dorothy to choose to get molested by. Every 20 feet, it presents a fork in the road that leads to a place where the Gimp from Pulp Fiction is likely tied up. The temptations along the road abound, but it must get Dorothy to walk toward the perversions on her own. She must willingly agree to go with the flying monkeys as their invited guests. She can't be touched directly, it appears. She cannot be, quote, jumped from behind a bush while she's still on the yellow brick road attempting to walk her true path. We don't know the sinister element or entity that has hijacked this reality for its own benefit, its own sustenance. The nature of this matrix is, though, we will never know what's behind the final curtain, because there is no final curtain. For those searching for the creature and endlessly saying, who's behind the final curtain? Who does this person report to? How does this work? It willingly hands over puzzle pieces to those playing the game of truth. These puzzle pieces are called, for example, Rothschild, Enki, Enlil, Anunnaki, Reptilian, Satan, AI, or artificial reality, mind virus, Archon, aliens, interdimensional beings, New World Order, secret societies, Nephilim, Greys, etc., times a million. Each puzzle piece that it hands you is a piston breadcrumb laid down to be followed. It's an enticement. When one assembles puzzle pieces for an entire decade with no picture emerging on the table before you, the wise man or woman generally gets up and walks away from the table and walks away from the puzzle. Into the air, he or she proclaims, I don't play this game any longer. I'm done looking for the picture that will emerge from the piston puzzle pieces. In crafting its script of distraction, chasing the creature is the most tasty yet most piss-soaked breadcrumb that it offers those seeking the truth. Most of the 1,000 distractions it places before us are not, quote, major league deadly sins, if bitten. Most are simply just little paper cuts that suck maybe a bit of your spiritual being or soul from you each time you are cut. The most obvious and perhaps most pathetic is a system that obviously aims to divide humanity at every turn. Are you in Black Lives Matter? Are you a Republican, a Democrat, a Christian, a Muslim, a conservative, a gay, transgender? Are you a Trump hater, feminist? Are you rich, poor? Are you Mensa? Or are you like in one of 300 other system-generated camps? Guess what? The Puerto Rican Day Parade is a camp. If you love Elon Musk, lone scum, you're in a camp. What system-generated camp are you proud to be in right now? Do you have a patch on your jacket showing what camp you chose? Or do you have a sticker on your shirt that says, I voted? Yeah, that's a camp. It's a camp for retards. Putting on one of these cloaks or getting into a camp is exactly what the creature wants. In New York State, the system has created 20 new subcamps recently inside the transgender main camp, with gender blender being an entirely unique legal term from gender bender. This isn't a joke. It seems every time the system can slice and dice us, we take another step away from unifying as humanity to create a reality that can stamp out the hell here while breathing new life into the heaven that still exists here. Why would the system endlessly work to divide us if we collectively are in a tidal wave of reality creation? Why would it dangle the carrot in front of all of us forever, non-stop, 24/7, with such vigor through this engineered society if we collectively have no influence on reality and they can just do it all themselves? It's obvious. They can't do it themselves. They need us. It's not about money or building new bridges or serving them. It's a spiritual battle of the highest order and magnitude. Isn't that obvious? Part 2, fluid reality. Things in this life are not as real as you believe them to be. There is much more evidence that this is another form of dream state than that actually rocks are hard and heavy. Reality, it's proven over and over, is mostly or in some way fluid. Now, the creature, whatever it is, understands this. And at least collectively, the population of real human beings manifest reality directly and literally, per the script that the creature lays out. Again, this is the reason for the assembly line of dangling carrots and baited hooks that the creature presents. The hellish state they want to create in this illusory snow globe can't be built directly by the creature. It must convince Dorothy, you, to step off the yellow brick road and build the whorehouse yourself. The creature has become expert at coaxing humanity to manifest the shit sandwich it oh so loves. It has masterfully convinced humanity that the shit sandwich is the best item on the cosmic menu. No one need even look for a better sandwich, for the best hoagie is served up right here on Earth by Barack Obama. We can see the pathetically obvious goals of the creature: to corrupt you off your true path, to have you build the sick and bastardized reality cage the creature desires. The creature has been successful in bringing in more hell, but it has little influence on the heaven that certainly still exists in this realm. Whenever it has been successful in the past in destroying the components of heaven still here, again, it needs humanity in some way to do the bidding for it. It can't do it directly. It can't touch the heaven that still exists here directly, in my opinion. Think of the destruction of the millions of acres of rainforest as one of 1,000 examples here. If we didn't do it for the creature, it wouldn't be done. Because humans, collectively at least, are reality creators, every so often the creature may actually attempt to have humanity manifest its own destruction, potentially. Wars are entry level to a much bigger show of carnage that it would likely like to create. The creature seems to be able to bite off as much as humanity will allow it to bite. It draws power and sustenance from us. Every day it seems to draw a new line in the sand with a finish line that's invisible to us as society inches closer to it by the day. What this finish line is, or what the creature ultimately wants, I don't know. We can only observe its actions. The creature is impressively patient in its work, taking tiny steps over many centuries to move the bar. The intentions of the creature and the games it endlessly plays is easily seen by a few of us, but non-existent to billions of others that surround us. Earlier I mentioned the creature plays its role as Pied Piper effectively, and as a few billion people follow it, it's rewarded in some way. This appears to be twofold. First, its very role is to remove Dorothy from the true path. An entire society in a lower vibration of fear, anger, disease, anxiety, and poverty basically becomes the well and the mops in the Sorcerer's Apprentice, putting out an endless stream of negative frequency into the ether that the creature likely feeds on, literally feeds on. In fulfilling its role in what it's intended to do here, take us off our path, it gets what it needs as an energy vampire. To any non-reality junkie, this or these types of concepts, I know, will sound completely insane, but there is almost no other explanation of what's going on when one closely observes the reality script playing out before us. Almost everything breaks down upon close examination. 19 guys with box cutters didn't accomplish something in one day that 30 years and $1 trillion spent by the Soviets could not accomplish. There's no reason anyone could possibly come up with any reason why a Waffle House waitress is subject to an 80,000-page tax code, when this could have been eliminated in one afternoon in Congress 40 years ago. A tiny LEM spacecraft on the moon isn't carrying massive heating and cooling modules that could overcome minus and plus 200 degrees for astronauts spending 12 hours a day inside the little tin can. The killing of an asshole archduke in Austria-Hungary doesn't start a world war that kills millions. Now these examples could go on for volumes and volumes and pages after pages. 5 years and $1 trillion spent on a bill called the Affordable Care Act seems to leave the same health care costs and millions still uninsured. Now, government waste and inefficiency is always the same scripted answer for all of this. It's all a ruse, it's all fake, it is all a construct. When one allows oneself to consider that all of this is not because of government inefficiency, it's all done to us on purpose, it's easy to see that it must be on purpose. For this is the modern era, and even total incompetence in government working a tiny bit on our side would have done away with these problems and stresses decades ago. That is, if things are real. Things are not real. Things are not as they seem. No one is working on behalf of humanity. In fact, it's just the opposite. They are working to pull us off the path and molest us in the bush. Now, what to do is ridiculously simple. Don't take any of its carrots. Stop following the script on the screen that's playing out outside there, outside of yourself. Look inside. Find out what your true path is. Walk the true path. Get in touch with your true self and why you are here right now having this experience. The meaning of life is simple. It's understanding that life has meaning. Sure, these are big questions not answered in a single afternoon. But start your journey by ignoring all the distractions and not taking the poison fruit the system wants you to bite. Starve the energy vampire by giving it no attention, no worry. Don't give it your anxiety, your fear, your energy, or the 3D realm's equivalent of that, your money. The creature wouldn't be so interested in you if you were, as the atheists say, just some little peon, just little bit of flesh soon going to the dust. In that case, the creature wouldn't give a shit about you, but it does give a shit. It gives a tremendous and obvious shit. The creature of the system tells us via its own behavior exactly what we are. Immortal beings of energy and some sort of essence that we possess that it does not possess. Why is it constantly always trying to get in our business all the time? Why does it give a shit? These things are obvious when you can see them. We are currently Carol Ann from the movie Poltergeist, trapped in a metaphysical void in the closet. The beast wants us very near to it, for it gets something from us, for it sucks something from us, for it takes sustenance from us. The beast is also full of tricks to keep us near. Most people around us don't even know they're stuck in the closet. I think it could be very simple. I think we're probably free to walk out of the closet anytime we want if we so choose, if we make the right decisions and have the right frame of mind. No matter what, start small. Every day, imagine the world you want and that it can be created. As many of us do this, as millions of us do this, watch the power of the George Bush creatures wane.